Hi there. So remember I was talking about don't water your garden too much. It'll tell you when it's dry. I'm making a YouTube video, hon. Okay. Okay. So today it's really dry. It's been dry for about a week and the plants are starting to wilt. So we are going to go over and water the farm garden. So I have my trusty ATV, also known as my garden mobile, and my bottles of water and my watering can. So we're going to head over to the garden because at the farm the garden is away from the house and we don't have a hose to reach that far. And of course my husband, wanting to make life easy for me, says, you know, we'll tap into the well and make a garden hose there when the farmhouse is built, but gardeners can't wait. So here's me in my garden mobile. Away we go. I'm taking you with me. Get up on my garden mobile. Let's check out the garden. See what's happening. See how dry it's been. Hot. So hot. So I know that poor garden, and I just planted some stuff last week, so I know that poor garden is waiting for me to get over there and help it out. But this is good for a garden, like I was saying, not to be watered too much because it makes the roots strong and it makes them, you know, survive. I'm trying to get you sitting still here and it's not working. Okay. Whoops, turn on the key. That would be good. Turn on the key. All right, let's go. Come on, puppies. Here we go to the garden. This is the farm garden. Taking you with me. There's the hay. Lots of goings on here today. Come on, pups. Oh yeah, this poor garden is dry. You can tell it's waiting for me. You can see how dry it is. Now remember when I was talking to you about tomatoes and the suckers? So see how these tomatoes look so beautiful and full? That's not good. We got to get rid of these full suckers so that the tomatoes can get the nourishment that they need. But our first priority is to water. But let's just look. Oh, some of my water tipped over. I am a bit of a crazy driver. So let's do one tomato plant together, because I usually start from the bottom, so you can see how big and beautiful this tomato plant looks like. But that's not the way it's supposed to be. So we're going to take off the suckers together and you'll see what it looks like when I'm done, and it's going to look really funny, but that's the way it's supposed to be. So I always start at the bottom of the plant. See, there's a sucker. You can't see any little fuzzies on there. This one is not a sucker. This is going to have tomatoes because you can see them right there. So we're going to leave that guy alone. This one here is definitely a sucker. No tomatoes growing there. And what I do is when I'm taking the suckers off, I don't put them in the compost. I actually put them around the plant because they'll keep the water in, and they'll also give nutrients to the soil, so that's good. So see, here's a beautiful part that's going to have, it's going to have tomatoes, but this one is not, because there's nothing on there, right? There's no little, see these little hairy things with, you can tell that there's going to be a flower there. So this one you're not going to take off because that's not a sucker. But this one, this huge thing, is a sucker. He's taking all the nutrients from that plant, so that has to come off. This is going to have beautiful tomatoes, so we're going to leave that be. But this one here, oh no, we'll leave that be too. Oh, we've got lots of tomatoes coming on here. So that's very cool. Maybe there's not as many suckers as I thought. This is a really big sucker. See, nothing growing on there. This one, however, beautiful tomatoes. You can see them starting. Another sucker. Nothing growing on there. Take that off. Here's another one. Absolutely nothing, but you got to be careful because it is attached to some beautiful tomatoes that are going to grow, so you don't want to. I have had instances where I was too aggressive taking suckers off and I took some tomatoes, and you don't want that. So this sucker can come off. There's lots on here. Here's another one. See, here I have to be careful because this part here is a sucker, but then there's this beautiful tomato plant going to grow there. So I pinch instead of pulling so that I don't accidentally pull it off. And all these suckers can come off. There's a large sucker that can come off, but again, see that beautiful fuzziness there? That's going to be a tomato, so I'm going to pinch instead of pulling so I don't pull that off. Another sucker. Another sucker, but again, I'm going to pinch because there's these beautiful little tomatoes that are starting. Another sucker. Another one there. Another one here. And there's a big one. Let's get that out of there because that guy is taking a lot of nutrients from the tomato plant. Okay, I'm going to leave that. Now see this one, you've got some beautiful tomatoes there that are going to start, but then you've got this sucker right here, but it's close by those tomatoes, so again I'm just going to pinch. Sometimes I break and it's too aggressive, so let's just pinch and be careful. Now see how this one, there's nothing growing here, but it's small and there's some little fuzzies. I'm thinking tomatoes are going to grow there, so we're going to leave that. Another sucker right here. Another one here. Another one here. Be careful because you're right by beautiful tomato. A friend of mine showed me how to do these suckers, and she said, don't worry, your tomato plant's going to look really ugly, but it's going to be full of tomatoes. Well, who cares if it's ugly looking as long as it has tomatoes on it, right? So that can go. This one can go too. Well, I think we did a pretty good job on this guy. I think we got most of the suckers off of here. I'm going to be very tender here because it's really close to tomatoes that are growing. Same with this guy. Oh, I'm going to leave him. Look at those little starts of tomatoes. We're not going to take that. And there's this one. That one can go. So you can see that was what we started with, a beautiful bushy tomato plant that is not doing anything. And this little ugly guy is going to have beautiful tomatoes because we got rid of all the suckers. I see another one here. Get him off. So that's the difference. When you got to have tomatoes like tomato plants like this, not so good. This ugly little guy, he's going to be a beauty. He's going to be a beauty. So you can see how dry the soil is. So this is where we need to water. Absolutely. So today was awesome. We got to talk about watering, but we also did some more suckers. So hopefully that helps you learn about these tomato plants. Talk to you soon. One of my favorite things, watering the garden.